Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rob. This is RH Midwest Comics, and today we're going to talk about this. The upcoming Heritage Signature Auction. They have auctions throughout the month, weekly basis, comic book auctions. But this auction, the Signature Auction, they have, I'd say, roughly every 3 months, and it's the best of the best. And as you can see what they're showcasing on the cover here, right, a Fantastic Four #1 and a 9.6 White Pages. That is their star of the show, so to speak. So we're actually going to go through their website and take a look at where all their prices are. But essentially, this is what it looks like, right? This book has pictures of everything that they're offering in the auction. It's pretty fantastic, and I think I've done a video on this before where I actually go through the book. But today we're going to see where all the prices are at, and kind of make some estimates as to where we think some of the books are going to end, right, in terms of pricing. So let's go to the website. Here we are. So Heritage Auctions, and here you can see they just have listings of all the different auctions that are coming up. And if we scroll down to September 12th, here it is, the Heritage, well, it says Comics and Comic Art Signature Auction. Okay, so if I scroll in here and I have it sorted by highest price first, so this is going to give us the current prices of the books with, let's see, 8 days to go, and some things are 9 days. Again, and the books start ending on the 12th and go all the way through the 15th. So you're going to see a mix of a whole bunch of different types of books. You're going to see comic art. But let's get into it. So the book that has the highest priced right now is the one I was just telling you about, the one that's on the cover of their book that they sent out. So it's Fantastic Four #1, and it's a CGC 9.6. It's White Pages, and if you take a look at this thing, it's really, really nice. Obviously, right? There's a little like light color spot here. I am assuming that is on the slab and not the book itself. And then you see down here, there seems to be a little bit of edge wear, but I think some of these lines are actually part of the art in the cement or the concrete, and that's my opinion. But even on the edge here, there is a little bit of wear. And then the back cover, the only thing I notice about the back cover is this weird streak you can see here. Again, it might be part of the slab or the inner well. This is an old label, so I don't know if something like this has been commonly seen, but if this is on the book, I don't think it would be a 9.6. So I'm not sure what that is, but obviously the rest of the book is really, really nice. You see a little speck here that for sure is on the book, but it might just be part of the paper. So Fantastic Four #1, current price on this is $1.2 million. So that's a lot, but what should it go for? So on the CGC census, if you look at it, Fantastic Four #1, yes, I just happen to have it pulled up. There are no 9.8s and only 2 9.6s. So this is tied for the highest grade ever of this book. And it's got white pages. I don't know if the other 9.6 has white pages or not. And then if we go to GPA, let's go to Fantastic Four #1. And let's take a look at some prices of these high grades. So you can see, according to GPA, there is no known 9.6 sale that's at least been public. All right. Now, there was a 9.2 that sold for $1.5 million. That was back in April of 2022. So during the height of the COVID madness and when everything was going for crazy prices. So for 9.2, I don't think a 9.2 today would go for $1.5 million. And where do we say this one is at right now? 1.23 million at this point. So Will it match that 1.5 to be the highest selling Fantastic Four book ever? Possibly. I don't know. I have no clue what to guess. All I know is back in 2022, prices were crazy. So, anyway, again, this is the star of the show. FF number 1, 9.6, white pages, already at $1.2 million. Might get to 1.5 million. We shall see. Let's look at some other books here. Amazing Fantasy 15 in a 9.0. Very nice. It's got off-white to white pages. It's a a little bit under $500,000, $456,000. So again, let's take a look and see what some sales were of these high grades. AF15 right here. Again, we're just trying to get an idea of what we think it could sell for. So again, what is this one at? What did we say? $456,000. You always have to include buyer's premium because that is the price that always gets listed in GPA. So that's a 9.0. The last 9.0 sold over 7 years ago. So we, probably can't look at that price. It was $395,000. Obviously, it's already eclipsed that, and it should. The closest we've got is a 9.2 that sold in January of last year, so over a year and a half ago, for $810,000. Now, I don't think there's any way this 9.0 is going to get to that. I'm not even sure if it'll get to $500,000. So, and granted, it shouldn't get to that 810 because that was a 9.2. And again, the market, it's still strong, right? These are crazy prices for comic books. The market is still strong, but we know it's been about a 2-year process of the market continuing to slowly soften. So this might get to 500 grand or a little over, but we'll see. And we'll be watching this live as well to see how some of these things do. All right, so big book there. And then you've got some original art. You can see this is the cover art for Wolverine #1, which was his first ongoing series. John Buscema. I've heard it pronounced every way you can imagine, but this is the 1-of-1 original cover art for that book, and it's already over $200,000. Man, me and a whole bunch of you out there, we all missed the boat on original art because there was a time, probably 5 years ago for sure, it was a lot cheaper. 10 years ago, it was ridiculously cheap. We all missed out on it. So anyway, the next 4 are original art pieces. Then you've got an AF15 again, 7.5 off-white pages. Let's see. This one is currently just over $100,000. Let's take a look at the 7.5 here. So there was a sale about 4 months ago of a 7.5 for $162,000. So this one being at 102, and that includes a buyer's premium as of now, might be in line, right? My guess is maybe it'll sell for a little bit less than that 162 from April, but we'll see. Again, the market has been slowly softening, right? Kind of holding its own, but still overall just slightly going down. So I think that one will fall a little bit short of the sale in April. Then you've got some more original art. Then you've got a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, 9.8, but it's signed. It's got a blue label. It must be signed. Let's see, on the interior. Let's see where it's signed. Yeah, Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird, written on interior cover in pen. So CGC does not recognize it as an official signature. Now this book, because they use JSA now to authenticate signatures, this book could be cracked out and sent back in to get a yellow label. But my guess is, right, do you really want to risk losing your 9.8 or losing your white pages to try and get a yellow label? I don't think so. So anyway, nice book. Nice book. I've never owned this book, but I know the prices have dropped significantly on it, like a lot of other things. But anyway, 9.8 white pages signed on the interior. And I think a lot of books had those signatures on the interior, so they're probably legit. But regardless, that's Turtles. Then you have, this is a really nice piece of original art, original cover art for Pre-Code Horror. Tomb of Terror, number 15, The Exploding Face. It's a Lee Elias cover. And this is it, is the one and only original art, the pencils or pens or markers, whatever was used on it. And it's currently, let's see, $43,000. So with buyer's premium, that's going to be like 50 grand, right? $52,000 it's at right now. I would expect this thing to get up to 100,000, but I don't know. These original art prices are out of this world. Here's a Captain America number 1, but it's a qualified label. I'm guessing it's missing pages. Let's see. Yep, centerfold missing. I don't know if that affects the story or not. I'm not too familiar with the centerfold of this book, but still an amazing book, right? 4.0. Cap knocking out Hitler there. Very, very cool. That book is at just under 50,000 right now. Hard to predict where qualified books will end up in pricing. Okay, here's another one. Our third AF-15. This one's a 5.0, off-white pages. It's at $46,000 right now. So let's go look at a 5.0. Here we go. So just a couple months ago, back in June, 5.0 sold for $56,000. And this one is at $46,000. So not too far off the mark. And that could pop up another few $1,000s. Let's take a quick look at the page quality, the one that sold in June. This used to be a $100,000 book. But this year it sold for as low as, look at, there was another one in June that sold for $38,000. So this one at Heritage has already eclipsed that. So this $56,000 one, I just want to see the page quality. Off white to white pages. So for sure, that it's slightly, I think the other one, what do we say? Off white pages. Yeah. So this $56,000 one, slightly better in page quality. I want to look at this $38,000 one. What was wrong with it? Off white to white. That's not bad. It had a lot of marble chipping. You can see here. So that's probably why. I'm a little bit surprised I got a 5.0, to be honest. But I don't know how they grade marble chipping, but when you look at this, very little marble chipping. This is strong. So, all right. So that's why that other one sold for such a low price. So anyway, that is AF-15. There's a Batman number 1, but it's conserved, and it's got, looks like a lot of writing, a lot of work done to it. Leaf casting to the interior, spine split, sealed to cover, cover reinforced, staples replaced, cover and centerfold married. So it wasn't even a complete book. They took a cover and a centerfold from one other book or multiple books and put it with the interior of a different book. So I still think it's pretty cool that someone put a complete book together. But this is not only conserved, but it's really qualified as well, right? And if there wasn't any conservation, and if it was just the cover and centerfold being married, I think it would be a green label, right? I think it would be qualified. So getting the conserved label makes it look a little bit nicer. Regardless, though, always a nice book. It's definitely got some issues, but it's also a 3.5. So 3.5s come with issues. All right, so that's Batman number 1. It is currently at $42,000. Again, how do you predict what a conserved grade will go for? I don't know. Maybe a few thousand more than that. Who knows? There's rarely no other bids that come in, even though there are still 8 or 9 days left in this auction. When it gets down to the live auction, these things always get at least one bid, right? There are bids either stored, ready to go, or there are people actually there, or they're online bidding. So these books will go, almost every single one will go for more than they're at right now. All right, so this is one that pulls at my heartstrings. So Crime Suspense Stories number 22. You guys know I'm a big Pre-Code Horror fan, and I'm a big EC Comics fan, and I'm a big Gaines File Pedigree fan. So this is all of those all in one. So this is Crime Suspense Stories number 22 is probably the most notable of all the EC horror books, right? With the severed head and the bloody axe, well, with the blood being black, because I think everything had to be colored. Blood had to be colored differently. I don't think it was allowed to be red, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Maybe there's some examples out there I'm forgetting about. But anyway, this is the most notable one of all of them. It's a Johnny Craig cover, classic decapitation cover, 9.4 off-white to white pages, and it's a Gaines File copy. So, just an amazing book in amazing condition from 1954. I'm a little bit surprised it's essentially sitting at $40,000 right now, just under $40,000. I had just assumed that this book would easily go for over $100,000. But with it only being at $40,000 right now, with 8 days to go, I'm not sure it's going to get there. So let's take a look. GPA. Crime Suspense Stories. Go down to issue 22. And first of all, let's look at the census. So the census says there are two 9.4s, one 9.6, and one 9.8. All right. So what I don't know is are both of these 9.4s Gaines File copies or not. So there was a 9.4 Gaines copy that sold a little over a year ago for $90,000. And I'm wondering, is it the same book? Let's take a look. So here's the cert number, ends in 1001. And then this book, let's take a look at the cert number. No, they're different. So, okay, either they're different books, or the one that sold back in 2023 got cracked and regraded, hoping for a better grade, but came out the same. So I don't know. So they're either two of them or this is the only one. But regardless, the last sale was, what did we say, $90,000 about a year and a half ago in March of 2023. This one's sitting at $40,000. It's got a long ways to go to hit that mark, that $90,000 mark. And I'm skeptical. I don't think it's going to get there. So that'll be interesting, because April of 2023, it was kind of after the craziness of COVID. And to be honest, Pre-Code Horror has really not been affected very much by the downward trends of all the other genres, right? And all the other, Silver Age, Bronze Age keys that we've seen. So it was Golden Age and Pre-Code Horror. Is it next? I know a lot of people think, including myself, that it's just a matter of time because the prices have been so crazy. So I don't think this one's going to get to that record-setting price of $90K. I originally thought it would go for over 100, but it's a lot lower than I thought. We'll see. Again, we're going to watch this one live as well and see what happens. All right, so that's that. And then we'll just look at a couple more here. So obviously the biggest news coming out of San Diego Comic-Con was that Doctor Doom is going to be in the next Avengers movie, or two Avengers movies out, I think. And of course, Robert Downey Jr. playing Doctor Doom is some huge, huge news. This is a really nice copy, 9.2 white pages. This thing's got a lot of issues on the spine, though. Right? I know it's not a 9.8. I know it's a 9.2, but I mean, there's a lot going on here when you look. And I'm not sure if it shows up on your screen like it does on mine. Obviously, I'm on a big screen here, really zoomed in, but a lot of spine issues. And this corner crunch right here, some lines right here. This corner does not look very good. Let's look at the back cover. And this is not to criticize CGC at all. That's not why I'm doing this. I just like looking in at these high grade copies. Back cover looks really, really nice. Really nice. So anyway, I don't know. Little surprised it's a 9.2, but I'm not a professional grader. What do I know? So this is currently sitting at $38,000. And again, it's white pages, 9.2 white pages. And this is a book. If you guys watch my price analysis I do for Silver Age and Bronze Age, my last Silver Age one, I added this book in to the list of the other books that I analyze in my monthly videos. Oh, where am I going here? I'm going to FF number 5. So I think we're going to see this book take a spike after the San Diego announcement, but I think it'll be short-lived, right? And then it'll come back down. Okay, so the last time we saw a 9.2 sell was September of 2022. So 2 years ago, again, kind of at the end of the crazy prices and the comic boom and all the COVID stuff. That was near the end of it, where things had started. Everything had plateaued, maybe even slightly started decreasing. So 180 grand. And where do we say this one is at? $38,000. It's not going to hit that for sure. Yeah, no way. There's no way. Was that the highest price for a 9.2? It was. It was. There were two that sold that year, 150,000, 180,000. And then you can see if you go back to 2020 prices, or even 2019, it was between a $55,000 and $65,000 book. And that seems like where this one is headed. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe it won't even get to 50 grand. That'll be really interesting if it can't even get back to 2019 prices. So again, will be fun to watch. A lot can happen in 8 days. So I am definitely not Nostradamus. But let's do this. Let's do a DC book. Showcase number 4. This is essentially the entry into the Silver Age. That's how people think of it. The first appearance of the Silver Age Flash. So really nice grade. Page quality isn't so good. It's cream to off-white pages. But huge key for DC. So let's go take a look. This is one of the books I'm considering adding to my Silver Age price analysis as well. I just haven't gotten around to it. Showcase, here we go. Number 4. A lot of different versions of it, but we want to go to the 1956 version. I always go to the census and take a look. So here you can see there are 3. We said this is what, a 9.0, right? Yeah. So there are 3 9.0s, and then there are 5 grades that are higher. 2 9.2s, 2 9.4s, and a 9.6. So only 440 of these on the census. This is low. DC had... They must have had much lower print runs than Marvel did in the Silver Age, because, you know, a lot of the keys, Marvel keys from the Silver Age, have quantities in the thousands, right? I think Hulk number 1 and FF number 1 are the lowest of the big keys from the Silver Age, but yeah, DC much lower on the census typically. All right, so this 9.0. Well, it's been 10 years. 10 years since a 9.0 sold, and it was $75,000. And where's this one at? This one is at $33,000 right now. Yikes. Yikes. If it... Is this even going to get to the 2014 price? Again, right? The page quality on that 9.0 hurts it because it's cream to off-white pages. What was this one? This was just off-white, so it was better by 1, right? Instead of being cream to off-white, this one was off-white. So not great page quality on this, but regardless, the most recent sale that's closest to that grade is an 8.0 sold January of this year for $81,000. So $81,000. Let's see the page quality of that 8.0. And that even went down from last year's price by a lot. So this 8.0 was off-white to white pages. So, yep, better page quality. But $81,000, and this one's sitting at essentially $35,000. Is it not even going to get to the 8.0 price? It doesn't look like it. I don't think this thing is going to get to $81,000. It's got a long ways to go. So we'll see. So showcase number 4 might have a soft price here. Then you have some more art. And then if we go into page 2, you see a lot of other stuff, you know, some early Detective Comics 29, Batman 121, which is the first Mr. Freeze, 9.0 white pages. And there's a dot on this one. What does this say? There's like a little sticker up here. Oh, the Alfred Pennyworth collection. Are you guys familiar with that? I'm not. I should be. Maybe I should look it up and put something on the screen here. Is that a person? I know Alfred is Alfred from Batman, but is this another person with that name? And they got their own provenance or something like that. Anyway, nice grade, white pages, first Mr. Freeze. Let's see, first Silver Age. Oh no, first Riddler, not Silver Age Riddler. 8.5 off-white pages. Yeah. Edward Nygma. Did you guys know the Riddler's name is Edward Nygma? I think I am told that every couple years or so, and then I forget. So, Edward Nygma. Not a easy name to remember. But very nice book. Really nice high grade. This one's at just under $30,000 right now. And we'll just scan a few more here, and then we'll call it quits. All-Star Comics number 8, first Wonder Woman in a 4.0. This one's at... Now, you got to be careful when you look at Heritage website and you're looking at current bids. So you see it says $23,000, but the number on this page here does not include the buyer's premium. So you have to add 20% to that. So that's going to be another, what, $4,600. So just like the other one, right? This is going to be, or 4,800. Current bid. Oh, sorry, here it is. Current bid, 23,000. So you had, another 4,600. So it's at $27,600. So you have to click on it to get the buyer's premium, or just do some math in your head if you're good at math. So just something to be aware of. A couple Superman number 1s, but this one's restored, has a purple label. This one's qualified, has a green label. Still, Superman number 1 is a great book to have. So here's an interesting one. Amazing Stories number 29. This is the first appearance of Buck Rogers. Is it his origin as well? Nope, just his first appearance. 9.8 white pages. This is from 1928. So is this officially... Amazing Stories is a pulp, right? Pretty sure it is. But my goodness, a 9.8 from 1928 is absolutely astounding. So obviously I've never had this book and don't know a whole lot about it. I just know that it's the first Buck Rogers. And if you're a Buck Rogers fan, this thing's sitting at $24,000 right now. So put in your bid now. I think on some of these, I was looking at these prices down here, which is the next bid if you were to bid. So maybe off by a little bit. Just mean prices are a little bit lower than what I was saying on some of them. But yeah, so current bid is up here. The next bid is always referenced down here. All right. Let's see. Anything else worth looking at right now? I know there are another first Wonder Woman, Phantom Lady, a lot of really nice Golden Age stuff. Here's an X-Men 94, 9.8, sitting at $16,000, or if you had another, 3,000 or whatever, it's right around 20 grand. 9.8, but it's got off-white to white pages. A Daredevil 9.2, that one is a little under $20,000 as well. And then you can see goes on and on and on. There are only over 1,500 lots here. So a lot to look at, no pun intended. Significant amount of original art. Look at all these covers. It's amazing. This is a really, really nice pre-code horror key issue. here with the bell that has the sever head. I think it's a shrunken head, as the little thing in the middle of the bell to make it ring. Awesome. Awesome. So you can go out on the website, you can take a look at everything, and if you are fortunate enough to have this book as well, and again, I don't remember, how do you get these? Maybe you just have to buy something from them in an auction, and then all of a sudden you start getting these. But I absolutely love these things, and just taking time to go through everything in here. Again, if you are an EC fan and a Gaines file copy fan, there are, and I'm probably not going to find it in time, but you can see here, there are a significant number of Gaines file copies. Look at these. All of these are Gaines copies, and they're all super duper high grade. These all happen to be 9.8, a few 9.6s as well. But Gaines copies, you know, you can find them in like 7.0s and 8.0s, but most of them are in the 9s. Classic cover there. So that's it. Again, just wanted to give you a quick preview. I went a lot longer than I thought I would. Hope I didn't bore you too much, but huge auction. And again, it starts ending in 8 days on September 12th. So get your bids in now if you see anything you like. And leave me some comments. Let me know if you have any questions or any thoughts on everything I showed you today. And until next time, have a great day.